Hello. Hey, before I forget, I want you to know that if you enjoy these videos and you would like to have regular reminders of them, I do a monthly newsletter in which I have a link to each weekly video and one short written article. They also all appear on my blog at shaboominc.com. So just a thought. And now on to the real stuff, right? Today I want to talk about the difference between responsibility and blame. I think the most meaningful interpretation of responsibility for me has to do with changing the I in ability to an A, ability. Responsibility is the ability to respond. We all have it. There's a way in which if we get stuck in self-criticism and self-blame, we turn responsibility into a burden. Responsibility is a freedom. Responsibility is a capacity. Responsibility is an ability, and each of us has it. I've looked a lot over the last few months at what happens in me when I get caught up in self-criticism and self-blame and judgment, and I do it all the time. It shuts me down. It shuts any human being down. And I've seen something about it that's so meaningful to me. I've seen how blame shuts down responsibility. A way to get out from under blame and self-judgment can seem to be to get out from under responsibility. So I'll withdraw from life, I'll pull back, I'll retreat, I'll dodge responsibility because I'm trying to get away from that friggin' blame machine. But it doesn't work because there's something in each of us, a life force that wants to respond. It wants to play. It wants to engage. It wants to be alive, to express its aliveness. And so when we dodge our responsibility, we are fighting with our own fundamental life force. It feels horrible. And if we're in a blame and self-criticism spiral, we jack up that and apply more blame, more self-criticism, more judgment, more pressure on ourselves to be better, do better, feel better. And then we retreat harder and dodge further and try to get out from under that monster. It helps so much to see the difference between responsibility and blame. These days, when I'm feeling pressured and when responsibility feels like a burden or a pressure rather than a freedom, rather than a gift, I ask myself, who's showing up here? Is it the one who's carrying the story of blame and judgment? If so, thank you. That's not a story or an identity I want to buy into. Some days I have to turn away from that puppy a lot of times. I won't fool you. And I always can. I have the responsibility to just say no to that self-blaming, self-critical, judgmental identity, which frees me to say yes to my life-affirming, life-giving, life-enhancing responsibility to create and play and dance and make mistakes. I hope that's helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments. Bye-bye.